Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello, happy Tuesday, everyone. So happy to be bringing you a new show. Who's melting right now? I'm absolutely scorchioso. It is, and I do apologise if I collapse, but we have a new show, welcome, and it is the Royally Confidential. Now, this is a show that takes you behind palace walls, through leading headlines, and into the gems of London and around the UK. So we'll be looking at landmarks, attractions, secret hotspots, and just celebrating jewels in Britain's crown. And obviously, hoping to give our waning tourism industry a bit of a much needed boost. So I'm your host, Helena Chard. I'm a broadcast journalist and royal expert, and I'm based in London. And today's theme is a right royal fanfare. I really look forward to sharing the traditions and treasures and stories. And obviously I have my great co-host as well, who will be bringing out shortly, the fabulous award-winning author, celebrated award-winning author, humanitarian and creative spark, Diann Floyd Boehm. Let's bring her out.
Thank you, Helena. What a lovely intro.
Diann. Oh, welcome, Diann. And you really are this amazing award-winning international author. And I know that you spark imagination and kindness through your words with younger. What age group is it actually that you work with?
Oh, it's a great question. So my children's books are really preschool through about third grade, and my young adult historical fiction is high school through adults. So, yay!
Oh, yeah, lovely. Oh, it's so lovely, and you're a humanitarian, which is great.
I love helping
we share
people.
that.
You know, my philosophy is that if you've been blessed, you need to turn around and help somebody else. So,
absolutely.
But anyway, I am so excited about our show. And
oh, great!
And for everyone listening, it is such an honor to be with Helena, and she knows so much. And so make sure you tune in every Tuesday of each month, because Helena is truly going to take you behind the scenes. And Helena, tell me if I have this correct. Okay, so I'm from the United States, everybody, if you can't tell by my accent. But Helena and I really wanted to bridge peace, love, and joy that between the U.S. and, of course, the wonderful UK. And so I hope we'll be doing that. Helena, do you want to add to that? But I thought it'd be
I think we're sort of excited to highlight people, places, and stories that make the UK so magical. And as you say, bridge UK-US cultures, and really just give, I think, our tourist industry a bit of a G, because I've noticed that there's not as much footfall here in London, and there's just so many fabulous things to see. So I think as we go through our shows, we'll be introducing lots of magical little places, and that's what I really look forward to doing with you, Diann. Plus, we might hug a tree, or we might take a walk in a historic rose garden. You know, it's sparking that curiosity, I think, isn't it?
It is, and I feel honored to be on your show. And I've been to UK many times. I feel blessed about that. And of course, my UK heritage, I'm very proud of. So, well, why don't we get on with the show and start sharing the gems?
Let's do it. So I'm actually going to start with a little bit of a teaser, if that's okay. So like a little fun fact, just to kick things off. So Diann, so which do you think is bigger, the White House or Buckingham Palace?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, since I've seen Buckingham Palace, and of course I've seen the White House many times. So, but I'm gonna have to go with the palace because it looks pretty big. Just
Woohoo! And you're right. That's amazing. Do you know, I asked a lot of my friends here in the UK, and everyone thought the White House was bigger. And I think it's because we all think of the States is always so huge compared to the UK. And I think so it's quite interesting. So Buckingham Palace is 828,000 square feet with 775 rooms.
Oh my gosh.
And the White House is 55,000 square feet with 132 rooms. So you can almost fit the White House into Buckingham Palace about 15 times, if I'm correct there. Not so great with my maths. So obviously, Buckingham Palace is the sort of admin headquarters for the king. And we host like state occasions and celebrations and hospitality and lots of fanfare. And for yours, the White House, the president and family lives there, and I think it's sort of somewhat of a museum, if I'm correct. It has sort of bits and pieces in it.
Yes. So thank you for asking. So yes, our presidents and their lovely wives or spouses, because one day there might be a woman president, you never know. So they live there, of course, and they live in the upstairs part. The downstairs is open to the public, and you have to also make reservations, of course, and it's incredible to see. Now, some of the rooms downstairs you're not able to see, like sometimes the China room is open, sometimes it's not. It just depends. Maybe if they're having a fanfare, then they might need to get in there. I don't know. And then, of course, you can't go into the Oval Office. But yeah, there's many parts because we being the people of America take pride in the White House as the people's home. So that's why we open it up. But I think Buckingham Palace, you're talking about possibly opening up to the people, right?
You definitely during the summer people can go, and there's a cost. I don't know what it is now, but it's loads to see. And even if you just want to just sort of spend some time in the garden and have an ice cream and afternoon tea, it's a lovely place, and it is pretty huge.
It is,
I have to say. But so I mean, starting with our Right Royal Fanfare. So really, it's looking at sort of the month's key events that luckily I was invited to. Well, in fact, I was working at, so I was privileged to attend 3 spectacular historic events steeped in culture. So huge traditions. So I thought I'd just share a little bit about everything, not too much. And if it's too much, Diann, tell me. Or if you, I can sometimes get carried away with myself, say friends and family. But there you go. So yes, it's been a really, really busy time, and it's been absolutely scorching on top of it. So I don't, I've been running around like a headless chicken. But to begin with, so Troop in the Colour was a fabulous day, and it really is a special time. Do you know what it is actually?
No, tell me
the name of it. So it's actually celebrating the King's official birthday.
Oh.
So this was obviously last month, but the real birthday of the King is the 10th of November. But this was on the 14th of June, and it's each year the monarch's birthday has been celebrated for over 260 years. So there's like 1,400 parading soldiers, like 200 horses and 400 musicians, and they take part in this like military procession. So it's real horsemanship and fanfare, and people like spend the year getting ready to do this, and everything like grooming their horses, polishing their shoes. They spend days. I mean, it really is an amazing thing to see. I'd got there incredibly early because I was there to take photographs, not in fact broadcasting, but I was pitched right next to the bit where the broadcast platform was, which was good. So we had the BBC and GB News and various platforms there. But I was by Buck Pal, and there's this most amazing parade that travels from Buckingham Palace down the Mall to Horse Guards parades, and it ends with this beautiful, sort of stunning Royal Air Force fly past.
Wow.
It's very visual. I've got a little clip in a minute to show you just to give you an idea. But yeah, great to see the royal family out in force. And obviously everyone's always wanting to see Prince Louis, you know, because he's always so funny on the balcony. He always entertains. They're only little tiny snippets, but he always gets everyone going. And it's very he's very sweet. So the King and Queen, they rode in their royal carriage. Everyone was saying, you know, why isn't Charles on his horseback? And I always say, goodness me, you know, he's of a certain age and he's still going through his cancer treatment. Can you imagine riding a horse in the heat and etc.?
No.
And he's 60s, he's 76 or 77 now.
Yeah.
And Princess Catherine was joined by her children in a carriage as well. We'll see that in the video shortly. And they both looked absolutely stunning. In fact, I have got one of my photos here, which is really just to show how beautiful they looked. They were twinning, in fact. They were twinning in blue, elegant blue dresses, and it's like, I don't know what colour you'd call it. There you go. Is it aquamarine?
I think so.
But so they're sort of wearing aquamarine. It's a dress coat with ivory lapels and cuffs, and that's by Catherine Walker. That's one of her favourite designers, and in fact also Princess Diana's favourite designer. And actually at this moment it would have been Princess Diana's birthday today.
Oh my
so I just
goodness.
thought I'd pop that in. So
Yes.
she would have been 60 something. Goodness me. But anyway, so everyone was like comparing Catherine to Princess Diana, because there was a certain trooping that she wore something similar in 88, I think it was. But it's really beautiful, I think. She's honorary colonel of the Irish Guards. So you can see she's got an Irish Guards. This is Princess Catherine, little badge on. And Princess Charlotte has got this beautiful little diamond. I don't know if you can see it on there. I tried to pick one where you could have seen it. It's like a horseshoe. It was a little horseshoe. So there we go. But just quickly, the whole idea is that with trooping the colour, it dates back to the 17th century, and the colours, the flags, where the regiments used it as a rallying point in battle. So when people were exhausted and they couldn't see, and it was, you know, they just used to look for their flags, and that's where they used to race back to. So like there's the Grenadier and the Coldstream Guards, and they were parading, etc. So anyway, I think we should see a clip. Unless we've got have we got the picture of the King and Queen as well? I'm just trying
there
to
you go.
There we go.
Yes.
I can't actually see it on there. So that was taken on there. And obviously, I have to say, I think the King was very strong that day and looked great, and it was fabulous. But the fun thing was Prince Louis waving. And what he used to do is he realised that every time he'd wave, that the whole audience there would clap. And he'd be really excited, and he realised that he was like entertaining everyone. He'd do it more and more, which is really good fun. So let's put on a little video so you can just get an idea of how they come out of Buckingham Palace in the carriages.
Oh, great!
That'd be good.
Wow.
Yay! So that's a great picture of Buckingham Palace in the background, wasn't it? And then what you couldn't tell from that is it actually is a really brilliant fanfare. I think that people in the UK, we do it well, we celebrate, and everyone was whooping and people were just so happy, and it was just real great camaraderie actually in people, you know, there that had come to say, you know, to wave and things. So yeah, really, really, really good fun. So that was the first great time, and then after that, I was racing off to Order of the Garter, and this is actually in Windsor Castle, so it's a little bit further out, but really beautiful to see. And this is absolutely history beyond belief, and it's sort of taken from King Arthur and Knights from the Round Table. So this was founded in 1348, where King Edward III introduced the oldest and most prestigious form of chivalry. And what happens is the king honours people who've held public office and contributed to national life, or served the king personally. And you can give people up to, I think, 24 knights can be awarded, and companions and things like that. But it's one of these things where it's a strange one. It's full of history. And members wear like this blue velvet sash with the motto on it. I think we have a picture, in fact. I think probably we can show of Prince William where he's wearing his outfit. He's never too confident wearing it. He doesn't like wearing that kind of outfit. There we go. There he is. But I have to say, I think if you see the plume and the velvet robe, I have to say, since he's got his stubble and things, I think it actually suits him more. But it's really funny to see Princess Catherine with him as well, because there's a lovely picture I took of them actually giggling. She's always giggling at him because she knows that he doesn't really like it. But I think it's great, it's fabulous. It's
Absolutely.
history. The ceremony takes place at, St. George's Chapel. And it's the tradition and pageantry and fun, and it's really warmth. And there's a little video as well that we'll show shortly, which shows the beautiful sort of windy. I don't know if you've been to Windsor Castle, Diann, but
I have actually. On the outside,
you've
of
been
course.
all over the place. But actually, inside is these wonderful little windy paths. It's actually very beautiful. So if we're able to show the video, that would be great.
Do you know which video number that is by chance?
I think it's video 3. Is that?
I guess we're going to find out.
That's Yay! And it was the right video. So well done, thank you. Yeah, so that just gives you an idea of what happens, and it's it's really great fun. So I've got some fabulous pictures there.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
And I know you said it already, but just to reinforce it, the capes and everything they're wearing, that's all the way back from the 1400s?
Yeah, it
Wow.
goes back all that time. I mean, it's quite amazing. I'm not too sure. You've got the velvet sash with this motto, which is, but it says something like "shame on him who thinks ill of it." But I have to say, I've said that, but I'm not quite sure really what that means. So there's some different little bits and pieces to the outfit and the plume, but I'm not 100% sure what everything completely means.
It's
And I
so
think
beautiful. So much
it's
pride must go into everybody who's watching it, and be proud
I
of their
think
history.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well. More than ever now, like the royal family, I think really are very, very important. It's this continuity that we've had for years and years, and there is that pride. And you're right, it's a brilliant thing. So there we go. So then from Garter Day, which is obviously very traditional, it was then Royal Ascot, which is very royally racy, and there were so many people there, all dressed up to the nines. It's the Oscars of the horse racing world, horse racing and hat world, actually. And so the huge highlights, and this was founded in 1711 by Queen Anne. So I guess it's epitome of British high society. And the lovely thing is you've got the royal procession, which is something that's been going now for quite a while. In fact, it's been celebrated this year. It's the 200th year, so there's been quite a few celebrations. But it's lovely to see because the royal family, they'll have something to eat at home with guests, and then they ride through Ascot slowly in the carriages, and then they arrive. And everyone's watching and photographing. I know that even Dr. Jacqueline was there this year, which was good fun. But I worked out the fact that we were there on different days. I was in the royal enclosure actually on Wednesday, which is the day Princess Catherine didn't turn up. So everyone, the broadcasting were absolutely so forlorn because we were expecting her to turn up looking absolutely beautiful, and it didn't happen because you're given like a script from Kensington Palace and it tells you who's coming. So there was a bit of a situation, but we have to understand, it's and as I understand it, goodness me, so Dr. Jacqueline could almost touch the king and queen. Ta-da! There we go.
Amazing.
I know. Same here, but I was sort of behind my camera. It truly is amazing, and people were dressed up to the nines. It was so hot. In fact, there were a few people lying on the grass and things like that. But I didn't think there was any. Each year, you seem to have an idea of a certain style, but there didn't seem to be a certain style. It's just everyone had their top hats, and things like that, and women were done up with their fascinators and hats too, and it was really good fun. But as I said, the procession marks its 200th year, and something that was different this year, and it always makes me think of you, not that you look like anything like her, Diann, at all, but the Queen introduced the reading room, her reading room during COVID. I mean, she actually brought an installation along there. So it was like a brilliant fusion of horses and literature, which I thought was quite a clever thing. And I think what's happening now, since Queen Elizabeth has passed, they're going to introduce different things to Ascot.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, so I did bump into a few people, which was quite funny. So it was all good fun, and I think for the locals as well, when the procession goes through, it goes through Ascot, and Princess Anne's carriage broke down, so they had this amazing photo call where the royals were sort of waiting there for ages, and it had to be fixed, and it was just one of those traditional British things that happens, I think, doesn't it? But the sad thing is that Princess Catherine, obviously the trolls came out and everyone was sort of saying, what's she doing? And has she been lazy? Is she, she has to think about her health. I mean, it was a last minute decision. And also, I think what people don't realise is it's not mandatory to go to Royal Ascot. It's not something that she would need to go to. Plus, a little sneaky one, she is actually allergic to horses.
No way.
She is. So, and on medication, it's quite a hard day. It's a long day, and in the sun, etc. It's you can see. You imagine she's had abdominal surgery, as I understand. I think has Crohn's disease as well. So, I really feel for her because I see all the nasty comments that are made. But actually, that's sort of moves on in a sense. In fact, do we have a video of Royal Ascot?
That would be
Did we
awesome.
have the? Do we have the? Did we? It's. I don't think. I think it's a little one which is sort of talking about Princess Catherine, and she's. Oh look, we've actually got trooping on. There's that balcony there. That's got popped in. Sure we can hear because the video's running.
Yeah.
Oh yes, you can hear. You are there, Dianne.
Yeah.
I thought possibly it was we couldn't do it because it was a video, but you know, obviously we missed her. I mean, everyone was like really, really sad. But the interesting thing is, it just goes to show that sort of that absence makes the heart grow fonder, and she really is sort of like the diamond in the crown, in a sense.
Right.
But, you know, she'll be a long time queen, and I think we have to just remember that, you know, she's got her own journey, hasn't she?
Not only
To
on a
go
journey,
through.
but we have to remember she's a young mom too.
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
get exhausted just being a mom.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, there was somebody who'd got over cancer, and I heard her saying that you wouldn't believe the tiredness that you get sometimes. It's not just like a little, you feel like you know, a little bit tired. It's huge. So imagine if you're there on ceremony and you've got cameras in your face, and it must be so tricky. But anyway, I mean, I think she's, you know, she's really held her own and is so dignified with it. And I love the way that she sort of works on her early years project, and this whole, you know, that she brought out that lovely video recently, well, not so long ago, and she was talking of nature and sort of saying that nature has been her sanctuary. And she obviously brings her children out into it, but it's so true. And I know you think that as well, Dianne, because we share similar thoughts when it comes to gardens and trees and beautiful plants.
Absolutely. I just I'm so happy that Princess Catherine feels that way, because I believe when you connect with the earth, especially if you just get barefooted and plant your feet in the grass and you feel the
Yes.
coolness, or it could be a little warm, whatever, you're still connecting to the earth. And I just think it sends a sense of grounding in your whole body. I really
It
do.
is. It is.
It's
It's
like
so
if you go to
good.
the ocean too, and sorry, I get carried away about this, but nature
Yes,
is
I
so
love it.
important. And when you go to the ocean, do you have this in your waters where the waves are so big and they come crashing in on winter day, and and you just like, oh my gosh, it's so refreshing.
Yeah, no, I love it. Maybe not quite as big as the waves that are near you, because we don't have that many beaches. They're further out. But yeah, no, it's lovely, isn't it? Oh God, it just gives me everything. All I need is the great outdoors, and that's it. It's very simple things. It just brings so much joy, which is great. And actually, it leads on to, you know, nature obviously being her sanctuary, and I think lots of people could say that, like us. But also how we have the most amazing royal park here in the UK. And I think
You do.
it's sort of like parks that we should celebrate. And the Royal Parks are in fact a charity, and they look after them beautifully. And you know, it is the great outdoors. I mean, we've got 8 royal parks in total, and they're absolutely beautiful green oasis. And like, you've got the history of the lakes and wildlife and events that are going on and things like that. So we're so lucky. Rather than sort of talking about any particular one, there's just so much that goes on. You know, you've got roaming deer at Richmond Park, and actually one thing as well. Did you know that Hyde Park was once Henry VIII's hunting ground? I mean, obviously it's not now.
Really?
It's just, yeah. So
I
there's
did
just
not know that.
all these little things. And also, what's interesting that I find, Regent's Park at the moment as well, they've actually got a Mediterranean themed border, which for the UK is amazing. But it just goes to show about global warming, in a sense, that we now have these Mediterranean plants, and I can vouch for that, having a couple in my garden.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so absolutely beautiful. And we've got the rose gardens, but St James's Park is pretty key as well. It's right next door to Buckingham Palace, and in fact, in Buckingham Palace, if you look out the windows, you can see St James's Park really well. And the thing about it is, we've just had sign off that Queen Elizabeth's memorial has been given to Lord Norman Foster to design. So that's him and his
Oh,
design team, which I think is really exciting in one sense, because I'm hoping, well, I'll tell you a little bit more about it, that it's going to bring more people to the palace, because it was definitely a number one tourist site, the palace, and I think it's sort of a little bit further down the list now. But this is what they plan, which I think is beautiful. And I mean, we'd started some time ago. I remember doing a production, and they were talking about putting this really ropey, horrible sculpture somewhere in Trafalgar Square, and in a very awful place. So I'm so pleased we've got to this now. So obviously Queen Elizabeth, longest reigning monarch, just over 70 years. So it will be in St James's Park. And there are a few things they're going to do. We have a lovely picture, I think picture 8, which shows the glass bridge that's going to be designed. Yeah, can you see that?
Yes.
And it's sort of with a balustrade made of glass, and it's like it's translucent. But the most exciting thing about it is actually it's inspired by the shape of the late Queen Wedding's tiara. Can you see that little picture there?
Yes,
it's only small,
I can.
but you can see it's like little shards.
Wow.
So it's going to look beautiful, because obviously, it'd be lovely to use the bridge, and it'd be a great photographic point as well. Again, you'll be able to see it out through the window. King Charles and Camilla will be able to see. And we've
beautiful.
Yeah, we've also got there's also another one, which is the Queen on her horse. Now, we always remember the late Queen on her beautiful horse.
Oh, yes.
There we go, picture 9. And that's just stunning, isn't it? Again, there's a little picture of the real Queen there on her horse. I think they're really sweet. I think it's just really going to G up that area. But St James's Park is lovely anyway, and it's got the lovely rose garden and things like that. But also, that will be overlooking the Mall. And we also have a beautiful sculpture, which is of Prince Philip with the late Queen. I don't think we've got that picture as well, which is picture 9. There we are.
Beautiful.
And that looks lovely, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just think it's so sweet. It's
so
just
sweet.
And it would be like with newly laid gardens in the park, and commemorating the Commonwealth and the communities of the UK. So all I would say is I hope it's not going to take as long to build as the Landseer Lions. Now, the Landseer Lions are those big lions in Trafalgar Square. Have you seen them?
Oh, yes. Okay.
They're obviously there, but they took something like, goodness me, 20, 30 years or something to build. There was all these problems that happened along the way.
Oh, my goodness.
But I'm not too sure who the sculptor's going to be, because obviously that's the design team. But I just think it's lovely. It makes me happy. I wanted something, because the late Queen was so wonderful, and didn't really put a step wrong. And actually, that makes me move on to a right royal helping of happy, just to talk about joy, as we always talk about, and how essential it is. Whether it's like childhood staples, or I don't know, the great outdoors. I don't know. Do you have anything from your childhood, Diann, that you remember?
Oh, so much. We take up a whole show.
One of mine was a space hopper. I had a space hopper, and I absolutely loved it. And even I know we talked about hummingbirds, and you have hummingbirds near you, don't you?
Yes, yes.
Which is so lovely. Oh, and it's just really good for mental health and well-being and everything. And also, I think last month we had Men's Health Week, so I believe. So I just think it's really important just to try and rid that stigma that there is. But the thing about the well-being as well is that we've got the UK's first mind spa that's coming to London, which I think is really exciting. And to begin with, I thought, it's just a spa. It's just, maybe you just go there and it's going to be nice. But a mind spa, which just sounds really lovely. So that's in Oxford Street. So it's going to be a new sanctuary for mental health, mindfulness, meditation, relaxation. And it's about everyone prioritizing their well-being, and being in the city and everything. It's quite important, but it's already in places like Amsterdam, and the actual concept promises science-backed treatments and things like that, and like an immersive design. and it's like a brain massage. I mean, how would you do a brain massage in this breathing bubble? And it's a hydro massage, you know, with a masseur. You're sort of floating atop a warm, like, waterbed.
Wow.
Which I think, what do you think? I fancy that.
Oh, absolutely.
Personally.
And I love
I know.
massages. Before we close the show out, I'm going to go back real quick, if you don't mind, to the bridge. It was so beautiful. And already I could see, like, if I was a young bride, I'd be like, I want to have my wedding dress there. You see so many pictures being made, couples having their picture made there. Anyway, I think it was brilliant, whoever came up with the idea to have it in the shape of the crown. I just think there's so much meaning to that. So.
And actually, the wedding side of things, I've not thought of that. That's really great, isn't it? Wow, that's so good. Do you know what? I'd hoped that we'd do some, like, you know, quizzy little bits, but I've got a feeling we're going to have to close up soon, Diann. Am I right in thinking that? How did that happen?
Because you're amazing how much you have to share with us. You have totally given everyone some of the gems of the UK for sure. So I will close out the show. Thank you so much for having me join you.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. And we're going to just obviously continue bringing loads and loads and loads of joy to, you know, and little tidbits each month. But we will sort of be doing royal quickfire questions and introducing more things. Obviously, this is our introductory show, and I'm just so thrilled to be hosting with you, Diann.
Thank you.
You're a real force for good, and I absolutely love that. I mean, do you have a final word that you'd like to share with everyone?
Well, everyone that's watching our show and watching it in the future, I hope that you have a beautiful day. And remember, you were able to open your eyes. And I believe that's because you are meant to share something special with someone. Even if it's just a smile to a stranger, you will be brighten their day. So everyone have a blessed day.
Thank you. That's absolutely beautiful. Here, I say, absolutely. And absolutely, you know, it's whether nature, music, or kindness to strangers or whatever, it's peace obviously begins with all of us. And so thrilled that everyone can join us. And I really hope that people are going to tune in. We're going to be back again next month. We will update the exact date soon. So it's been absolutely great fun, and just want everyone to celebrate the small joys. We'll be finding more magic to share with you. Until next time, you know, let's just find joy, smiles, spark curiosity. And I would like to also say as well to all our listeners, please do contact us. And share with us any fun stories that's happened, whether it's royalty or the UK, anything that's fun. That'd be great. If you could just contact us on royallyconfidential@gmail.com at this moment, or hcpresenter@gmail.com. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, We're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.